Hello and thank you for watching. I'm Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and in this short tutorial we will be going through the group 3 of the Green Dozen a Day book. So we're going to start with number 1, deep breathing. A couple concepts we've had in the past. First of all, we want to have a nice hand position with a firm bridge and a first knuckle that is rounded, not caving in like this. This portion will be played more on the full finger pad versus playing on the tips. And we're going to be working on gentle roll-ups of the wrist. So a couple new things in the notes for deep breathing. We already talked about the concepts of the roll-up, the hand position. So in terms of the notes, we have a couple new chords. In measure 1, we have what's called a C7 chord. So it's going to be Do, Mi, and then the 7th, which is a lowered 7th, by the way. So that will be Te. Do, Mi, Te, or C, E, B flat. And that's going to squeeze into this chord, which is an inversion of an F chord. It's called the 4 chord because F is the 4th scale degree. So that will be Fa, La, Do on the bottom. Then we've got a G7 with 4 notes. We've been used to doing it this way, but now we're going to add our second finger. So we have all 4 notes of that G7. It's just in a different position. So it's Ti, Re, Fa, So, and then back to C. So gentle roll-ups, here we go. By the way, the lines underneath the notes are the pedal. So you're going to play the pedal and then move to your next chord during that pedal. So it's going to be like this. Play, play, move, play, move, play, move, play, move, play, move, 4 counts. And one thing about the pedal, I know you can't see my foot, but just keep in mind when you're moving to the pedal, you're going to press your hands down and then the foot will come up quickly when you press down. So there's going to be a moment that there's no pedal and then you play right after. So it feels like a hiccup. Play pedal, and so forth. Here's the side view for deep breathing. I just want you to see the gentle roll-ups. Exercise 2, rolling, is an exercise in double thirds. The goal is going to be to play the thirds at the same time. They'll be played with a gentle roll for the legato and then just a quick snap for the staccato. Line 1 is parallel motion, both hands going in the same direction. And then line 2 is contrary motion, going the opposite way. So we'll do legato first, staccato second. Here we go with legato. Gentle roll. Contrary, hands go the opposite way. Two, three, 4. Now we're going to do staccato, quick snap of the wrist. Here we go. Just really listen. See if you get those notes to hit at the same time. Then roll up, snap, touch, touch, touch. This will be on the tips for the staccato. Then slow roll for 4 counts. Exercise 2, rolling. I want you to see the firm bridge, the firm first knuckles. So I'll just do the first line. I'm going to lift up my 3rd finger at the last moment and then release my thumb. Now for the staccato version, it's going to be quick snap of the wrist. It's going to look like this. Touch, 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 touch. Exercise 3, climbing in place, we're working with triplets. So 1 and a, 2 and a, little 3 on the top joins those 3 notes together and makes 3 notes fit in one count. And then we're going to walk up the C scale. So there's not going to be any sharps or flats in the C scale. So if you end up transposing this, make sure that you keep, let's say if you're doing in the key of D or something, just keep the black keys in the scale. It's really good practice. And the motion's going to be down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up for the legato. And then for the staccato, it'll be slightly louder touch on the first one for the staccato. Down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up. So your wrist will go up slightly for the staccato as well. We're only using fingers 1, 2, and 3 for this one. By the way, what you want to do is kind of stand up on your third finger so then your thumb can come next door to finger 3. So you're not going like this and then scooting. Scoot as you go so you can drop right there. So 1, 2, 3, we're going to start with 3 on do, 3 on do, down, up, up, legato. But just touching versus joining them together. Then down. Here's exercise 3. I want you to just see the down, up, up motion. So it would be down, up, up. Staccato for line 2. Touch, 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 touch. A little less wrist on the staccato one. Exercise 4, tiptoe running in place. We've just had the 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a. So there's 2 new concepts in this one. We've got 3 fingers playing the same note. So what we're going to do is we're going to angle the hand a little bit like this. So it's easier to give each finger a spot on the key. So the 3 is going to be here, the 2 is going to be here, and the 1 is going to be here, which will make it convenient as you come up the pentascale and so forth with the left hand. We'll have to reach up a little bit. So, and the other thing is the wrist is going to be a little bit higher for this one, so you're not trying to find all those spots with your wrist down low. So you're a little bit suspended, and we'll walk up the scale up to G, so, and then back down. So it's going to look like this. And by the way, number 4 is a little bit tricky to do hands together at first, so I would definitely suggest hands separately, simply because on the way up, your right hand's going to be going that way, but then your left hand's kind of reaching over. So it feels backwards and you're trying to have your wrist up higher and all of that. So do that one hand separately if you need to. Now tiptoe running, I'm just going to do with the right hand. I want you to see the angle of the hand, the height of the wrist, and how the fingers are playing on the keys. Touch, touch, then you're going to have to kind of reach over. You need to? Okay, exercise 5, baby steps. We touched on this in one of the previous exercises. This is preparing for a chromatic scale, which is this kind of scale, not skipping any keys. And so we've got the do and then a sharp. It's actually called D, re, re, and then mi. But then when you go down, it changes to a different syllable. So mi, me, re, and we already used the A sound, so we're going to do ra. So that's a little bit confusing. Save that for later. What you need to know for now is that C sharp and D flat are the same key. D sharp and E flat are the same key, and we're going to just be using 1 on the white keys and 3 on the black keys. Then we've got some rhythms in this one too, a quarter note rhythm first, so those are going to get a roll up, 2, and then we have the duples or the 8th notes is going to be 1 and 2 And so a little pulse on the first of each group of 2. And then when we have the 16th notes, it's going to be a little pulse on the group of 4. Wrist is going to be a little bit higher for those. So lots of things to think about in this one. So let's start with thumb on do, thumb on do. Here we go. Do it staccato. Quick touch, 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 touch. So even though you're playing these really quick, see if you can fit them into a gesture with your wrist. Also, baby steps, just like number 4. Go ahead and practice that hand separately so you can work on all of those things. Exercise 5, baby steps. We're just using fingers 1 and 3. Also where my 3rd finger is played on the black keys. It's not playing way in here. It's just right here at the edge. Thanks. Giant steps is working on octaves. And so I'm going to run out of space. You're not going to be able to see all of the giant steps, but it's just basically C to C, up and then C to, so we go C, high C, super high C, and then one more higher, and same with the left hand. So we're working on a down up motion with 1 to 5. And then you're going to lift and move. It's going to look like this. Down, up, move, down, up. One more. You can't see that, I'm sorry. And then this one. Down, up, bottom of the piano. Exercise 7 in jumping rope. Our new concept here is that the right hand is going to be in the interval of a 6th. We've had lots of intervals of 5ths on the outside, so basically every finger gets a note. Now it's kind of like we're in first inversion for a C chord, and so in our setup point there's a key in between your thumb and 2nd finger. This is a really common position in piano playing, so just getting used to walking up the scale in this interval. Notice the left hand starts with a 5th, and then in measure 3 it just goes down, so the pinky just moves down. The left hand's actually not moving, it just switches. Right hand's actually moving, so you're going to keep 1 and 5 all the way up. Here we go. So it's up. Now left hand pinky switches out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you get kind of comfortable with this, then angle your right hand slightly to the right so you can play the top note a little bit louder. That's a concept called voicing, in which we want to hear the melody on the top, so it's going to sound like this. So that my pinky's a little bit louder than everything else, bringing out the melody. Then roll up for 4 counts. Exercise 8, somersaults. The new concept in somersaults is something that's called inversions. So we have a C chord here, and it's do, mi, so, C, E, G. Those are our ingredients of the C chord, but we don't always have to play them in that order. So when it's C, E, G, that's called root position. And then we can put the C on the top, which creates a different feel, that 6th that I was just talking about. So that's mi, so, do. And then there's one more way to play it. So we can put the mi on the top. So then we have so, do, mi, and then back to here. So that's what we're practicing in the somersaults here. Kind of feels like cartwheels, which we've done in the past. So we'll start with root position. Left hand's going to be crossing, and remember to cross at a little bit of an angle. Play that 2nd finger on the top. it'll be whatever the bottom note of your left hand, that's what you're crossing to. So C is going to cross to C. Then when we're in our next position, E to E. I also want to mention in the inversions, we have certain fingering. So right hand is 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Left hand is 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 3, 1. So you want to get in the habit of remembering which one of those has the 2. So for the right hand, it's first inversion, and left hand, it's second inversion. So the last one of the left hand has the 2. Okay, here we go. 3 and 4, get ready, 5, 3, 1, 1, 2, 5. Now get ready during the pedal. Some of this is going to go out of the frame. Super high C, and then right hand's going to come up to the highest C. 4, 4 counts. Exercise 9, touching toes. We're going from a C chord and a G7 chord just down the octave, or 2 octaves in the case of measure 2. So just moving during the pedal. Then at the very end, we're going to go all the way to the bottom of the piano. So with the pedal, get ready during those half notes. Go ahead and get off that note and reset for your next position. Then all you have to do is switch the pedal. So what I mean by that is we've come down to here. So instead of holding this, and then at the last second moving up here, I'm going to play 3, move, get ready, then my hands go down, my foot goes up, and so forth. So here we go, touching toes. 1, 2, 3, move, up, get ready, G7, 2, 3, move, up, get ready. All the way down. Don't change the pedal, let it be nice and blurry. So in exercise 10, ballet exercise, I'm not going to pronounce the French, we have 3 things to look at. The first is the notes with the 3 lines on them. So the second half of beat 1, those are called 30-second notes. And so all you need to know at this point is that there's 4 of them in half of a beat. So if we're counting 1 and 2 and, on the and, there's going to be 4 notes. 1 and 2 and. There will be more on 30-second notes later, but they're fast. Item number 2 is the fingering on those 30-second notes is interesting because we're going to start on finger 3, then we have 4, 3, 2, and you're probably thinking, well, why don't I just play 3 again? So we're going to get up higher. So we're going to practice standing up on 2 and putting thumb under. So you stand up on 2, then drop. And then finally on beat 2, we have that staccato with an upside down V accent. So that's a quick drop. So we've got an accent, light, 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 drop, and 1, come under, and 1, and. So rhythm in this, very important. Let's try that with the left hand. And we're going to start with 2 and 4 because we're going to have kind of 2/3 of a C chord, Do and Mi. Then we've got G7, right hand's playing the G, the left hand's playing the rest of it, and then back to C chord and out. So here we go, and I'm going to let my staccato just pop off on beat 2. Hands a little bit feeling like they're on top of each other. And 1 different note, and 1, come under, and play those with your pinky, and 2, and. Rhythm, very important in number 10. This is exercise 10. I want you to just see how the thumb's going to scoot under. So we'll be down on finger 3, then 4, 3, 2, kind of stand up on 2, then thumb, 1, and 2, and 1, then switch. Exercise 11 is the splits. We touched on this in the exercise called a hard trick. This is a contrary motion scale. Contrary motion meaning we're going out. One hand's going up, one hand's going down. So in many scales, contrary motion will feel like the same fingering. So C, D, E, G, A, and some of the minors. So that's convenient for this exercise. So during the first note at the beginning of the measure, be thinking about what's crossing under. So we'll have 1, under, and then under 3, then back in, and cross with 4, roll, 4, 4, counts. Now when we do staccato, we're going to roll up still on beat 1, and then it will be light in between, so it'll sound like this. Touch, 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 roll, touch, touch, touch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exercise 12, fit as a fiddle. Not too many new concepts in this particular fit as a fiddle. We've got 1, 5, 7. Remember to scoot the pinky for that. And then just playing around in the C pentascale. So we're going to go up, halfway down, and then come back. So we'll do this 2 times, starting with legato. 1, 2, ready, go. Try to roll through your wrists. Now staccato. And left hand's turn. Thank you for watching this short video on Chapter 3 or Group 3 from the Dozen a Day Green Book. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel for more videos on piano technique, piano literature, quick piano tips. Thanks again for watching.